Greetings, friends. Welcome to the Grit and Equity Talks podcast with yours truly, Dr. India White. I'm thrilled to be here with you guys today. Happy holiday season. I know school is wrapping up for the week. Kids are going into winter break this week and the following week. And so with that said, I do want to go right into our announcements. First things first, the Grit and Equity Talks podcast will be featured on the X Factor EDU network hosted by Dr. Matthew Joseph. You can also find it on Spotify. In addition to that, I do want to remind you to follow me when you get a chance on social media, where this podcast will also be streamed. My social media channels are Facebook is Miss India White, LinkedIn is The India White, Twitter is Indie Speak and Teach, Instagram is Indie238, YouTube is India White123, and TikTok is Dr. India White. Also, check out the website, www.india-white.com for books, blogs, or to schedule me for an upcoming speaking or coaching event. Be honored. Speaking of events, I have a couple that are coming up, including this week. We'll be doing the second annual Getting Ready for the New Year conference. We have a great lineup of speakers. I can't wait for you guys to hear from these amazing rock stars. Also in January, I'm looking forward to seeing you educators in Utah. February, looking forward to going back to my stomping grounds in Sarasota, Florida to do some work there. And then, of course, in Atlanta this March coming up. I also want to remind you guys of the Grit Workshop. Thank you to those that have recently purchased it. Go to the Grassroots Workshop website and purchase it. It's titled How to Harness Grit to Help Students Thrive. Go there to find that. In addition, I do want to remind you of the Grit Academy. It's still growing. I'm still taking ideas, still taking leaders that want to join us on our endeavors. Please feel free to give me an email, a call, or whatnot. So again, you're on the Grit and Equity Talks podcast. And this podcast is if you are trying to close the achievement gap, but you're having classroom management issues, or you're just trying to help students become motivated to do work. This is a place that you can come. It's a safe place where we just talk about grit, all things grit. I love it. We've been doing this for a couple of years now, and it's been a high honor to just know that I can serve you guys in this capacity. So today I do want to talk a little bit about mental grit during the holidays. This is a very trying time for so many people. Not only is there travel, you're making plans for people that are coming over to visit. Some of you are dealing with grief. It's a reminder of someone that you've lost. Some people are getting married. Some people are, dealing with having a newborn for the first time. Some people have bought a pet. There's so many different things taking place in this time that we really do need to have a good mental fortitude, not only just in general, but also especially in the world of education. So, as students are finishing final exams, teachers are inputting grades, it's just time for us to all just to develop a wonderful, gritty mindset. So I want to talk with you and give you some tips. First tips that I have here for you. Tips for developing mental grit. First, reframe your challenges as a growth mindset. Then you want to build resilience. You also want to, as you're building resilience through those healthy boundaries, you want to strengthen your self-efficacy with small, consistent wins. Also use time management to help you on your journey. Because as you're using time management, that'll help you to reduce your stress and overload. And then, of course, practicing intentional recovery and self-compassion is key as you're trying to build mental grit, because it's all in the mind, right? And sometimes we are our worst critic. And sometimes you got to just build your faith, build that grit, build that resilience, and keep moving forward. So let's talk about some things that I was able. Well, before I go into that, I kind of want to talk a little bit about this. So reframing challenges through healthy boundaries and also through a growth mindset. So a challenge, you can see it as, if it's rejection, see it as redirection. If it's some type of hardship, if it's some type of lost opportunity, see that, if one door closes, another door is going to open. Always be on the up and up. Never just conclude everything as final. Okay. The next thing I would recommend is to build that resilience through healthy boundaries. Start saying yes to the things that feed you. Start saying no to things that have been proven time and time again to either just not be beneficial for you or are even toxic. Let's keep it moving. Strengthening self-efficacy, huge. You got to start believing in yourself, start taking chances, start being willing to do something different, being willing to put yourself out there. You live once on this side, why not? And then, of course, using time management to reduce your stress load and overload. Keep yourself on the calendar. For those that are not night owls, if you know that you start getting cranky around 9:30, then start doing things earlier in the day to compensate for the lost time at night. In addition to that, of course, we talked about also using intentional recovery and practicing self-compassion. That's huge because sometimes you're just so hard on yourself. It's like life is tough and, oh, well, just suck it up, get over it. Sometimes you do have to really use self-compassion and know that there's nothing wrong with you. You're just, maybe you're just not in the right space, right? Okay, so I want to share my screen and talk a little bit about some of my findings when it comes down to tips for mental health during the holidays. So I was able to look and find for us this really cool article here. It's on mental health from Cultivating Health from ucdavis.edu. And so it says, 5 tips to manage your mental health during the holidays. Okay, the holidays can be a time of joy and connection, but they can also bring stress, anxiety, and depression. So navigate your season's challenges and take care of your mental health. Got to be grateful. We got to be grateful. You got to reset and be grateful no matter what. Okay. So step 1, setting those realistic expectations for the holiday, practicing gratitude and self-compassion. This will help you to focus more on the positive aspects of life and lessons on the negatives. Maybe you're excited to host a big holiday gathering, but have a smaller turnout than expected. That can feel disappointed. Practicing gratitude can help you enjoy the positives. Okay. Try to be the best friend of yourself that you can be. So start saying that I did the best with what I had in the moment. That's powerful. I did the best with what I had in the moment. Okay. Next thing, let go of expectations of others. Managing our expectations of others can be especially stressful during the holidays. We can't control others' actions, but we can try to control our own expectations. Letting go of what we would like others to do will help ease the stress. Letting go is a mental habit that can be cultivated. It gets a bit easier the more we practice. Okay, letting go. Next, be flexible. The holiday season comes with many festivities and gatherings. A flexible mindset is helpful to maintain mental health during this time. Perhaps a loved one won't be able to see you on Christmas Day, so remain flexible and plan a post-holiday brunch or exchange gifts on New Year's instead. So there's so many other ways to make up for, change of game plans, around the holidays. All right, next, setting boundaries. So setting boundaries can feel awkward, especially with loved ones, but in the long run, it is helpful to, it's a helpful way to manage stress. Generally speaking, it can be hard in certain cultures, which are close-knit and interdependent relationships is highly valued. So first things first, recognize that certain loved ones may always be difficult. Set a personal boundary to limit how much you will engage with them. 2, set boundaries around expectations. Okay. Some loved ones, they place expectations on us that cause stress. This is very true. Okay. Perhaps you may have a family member who expects you to spend each holiday with them. Manage these expectations by setting a boundary and coming up with a compromise. For example, letting them know that you're spending Thanksgiving elsewhere, but would love to see them for Hanukkah is a good recommendation. Okay. Setting boundaries about topics of conversation. Topics like politics, current affairs can create anxiety and tension. Setting boundaries can ease this tension and allow enjoyable gathering for everyone. So how do you set a boundary about stressful topics? One option is to set the boundary before the gathering takes place. So I'm looking forward to seeing you. Politics are hot topic right now, and I can realize it's just stressful conversation. I would love if we left that at the door when we see each other. I don't want to get in the way of that, blah, blah, blah. Okay, that's cool. Okay, so then they say here, sometimes a tense topic is brought up unexpectedly. Gotta love that. Here are some ways that you can set a boundary with yourself or with others in the moment. So you guys might want to jot these down. I love it if we change the subject. I realize it's an important topic, but I think there's a better time and place to talk about it. Okay, again, I love it if we change the subject. I realize it's an important topic, but I think that there's a better time and place to talk about it. Next, can we talk about something less tense? How about travel? Do you have any fun trips planned in the new year? Again, can we talk about something less tense? How about travel? Do you have any trips planned in the new year? You can also simply excuse yourself and join a different conversation instead. Take care of yourself. So many of us, this is just an area of focus. You need to understand you bring value to the table, no matter who you are, no matter your background. And yes, you are worthy to be treated well. You are worthy. So it says the holidays are busy. This is why it's especially important to take care of yourself, both physically and mentally. This will allow you more thoroughly enjoy the festivities and gatherings. If you have a religious or spiritual practice, do engage in those activities by yourself or with your family community. Okay. So some ways that you can take care of yourself: eat nutritious meals and stay hydrated, right? Having that balanced diet is key. 2, say no. There's a pressure to say yes to plans, especially during the holidays. But if the plan causes you more stress than joy, I've been there. Give yourself permission to decline the invitation. Are you unsure of what to say? You can politely decline without giving a reason by saying, I appreciate your invitation, but unfortunately, I won't be able to make it. You can also say, thank you for thinking of me. Although I can't make it, I hope you have a great time. Next, check in with yourself. Are you feeling overwhelmed or stressed? Find ways to ease holiday anxiety and use them when the feelings arise. Okay. Then share the happy memories. Okay. So the holidays, yes, it can be a time of grief, but a strategy called reminiscence therapy can help you remember those that have passed. So to do this, acknowledge the loss and grief, but don't dwell on the sad memories. Focus on the happy memories you've had with this person. Reminiscing and telling stories that celebrate this person will help lessen the grief. It will also include them in the holidays in a positive way. So I know that's a lot, and I think that we all need to take heed, take care of ourselves, and remember, during this holiday season, when you're dealing with mental grit, the battle is, fought in the mind and it's won in the mind. And if you're ever in a place, during this holiday season where you're just kind of downtrodden, don't be so hard on yourself. Okay. Call a friend. I would say, I would say look at some funny things, look at comedy, look at TikTok reels that are funny. I promise they're on there. Celebrate others. Pay it forward. Go to a place that needs, whether it's like a food pantry or homeless shelter, things like that, and pay it forward. You'll see that will make you feel like $1 million inside. So there are things that you can do. So don't lose hope in this holiday season. Keep your head up. And know that 2026 is going to be a great year for all of us. All right, let's keep going back to this. Okay, so it says, other things you can do: connect with your community. So holidays can create feelings of loneliness, especially for those who no longer have a family or live far away from loved ones. So finding a community is important for mental health this time of year, whether it's a club, work, volunteer, workout classes, and cultural centers. Okay. Help is available by dialing or texting 988. Okay. I have no idea. But that's pretty cool. Thank you for Andres Ciola for this article. And I hope you guys got something out of that. I know if you're traveling, please be safe. There's like so much going on. So much going on with airlines, travel restrictions. It's a headache, but just be safe if you do decide to travel. Many people will probably be on the road just to avoid all of the airline stuff. I don't blame them. Just be safe, whatever you do. Okay. Go with your gut and make the best of this holiday season. So, with that said, I do want to transition. I was able to find something else for us to kind of look at when it comes down to developing grit. So this is kind of cool. So these guys are getting it on here. And this says developing physical grit, mental fortitude, and emotional resilience by Alan Baker. Again, developing physical grit, mental fortitude, and emotional resilience by Alan Baker. So it says, you've heard the phrases become a hard target or stay hard thrown around a lot. Excuse me, but what does that actually mean to be hard? Is it about becoming physically harder, mentally harder, emotionally harder? Let's explore what it means to become a hard target and how to embrace environments of resistance that can help us build physical grit, mental fortitude, and emotional resilience. Let's go. Building physical grit. As someone who's spent my lifetime training in various environments of resistance, martial arts academy, the weight room, wilderness, and oceans, I can attest to the transformative power of struggle and the resistance on the human body. When we consistently expose ourselves to these environments, we undergo profound changes. Our skin thickens, our bones harden, and our joints strengthen. Our bodies develop a certain level of hardness and physical grit that sets us apart. Kind of cool. All right, so then it says here, I can still remember when I was 14 years old and already trained in martial arts for some time. I decided to join the local weight training gym to develop further the human machine, the very instrument used to do martial arts. In the weight room, just like the academy floor, I encountered an environment of struggle and resistance that forced my body to adapt, become harder, and more capable. Okay, cool. Let's keep going. This is a guy named Steve. What's his name? Steve Pavlina. Okay, cool. So he says, our ancestors survived and thrived in harsh environments, constantly moving and engaging in their surroundings. The physicality was vital for hunting, gathering, and protecting families from threats. Right. The importance of movement and struggle becomes even more pronounced as we age. As we enter our 50s and beyond, the body naturally experiences a decline in muscle mass, strength, and agility. However, by actively engaging in physical activity and embracing environments of resistance, we can counteract these effects by maintaining optimal health. The connection between physical movement and overall health is established in scientific research. Regular exercise can boost the immune system, improve cardiovascular health, increase bone density, and enhance mental well-being. Engaging in activities that challenge the body can also prevent chronic diseases like diabetes, heart disease, and obesity. Okay, so let's keep going. So now they're talking about cultivating mental fortitude and emotional resilience. So it says here, building physical grit is just one part of the equation. In my experience, training in resistance environments develops physical toughness, and develops mental fortitude and resilience. Okay, so it says, placing ourselves under the fire of struggle is a part of a warrior's path and chosen journey of a fighter. By fighter, I don't mean just someone who is skilled in physical combat. I'm referring to the individuals who consciously choose to fight back the challenges and problems that life throws their way. All right. Then they talk about embracing the struggle. So this is a lot of good information in general. And the message I'm really getting from here is you just have to have that mental fortitude, and you have to be willing to go through what it takes to, get that physical stamina, like he was saying, working out, taking care of yourself and stuff. And it's saying it's not about seeking out the pain, but it's about understanding that adversity is an inevitable part of life and that we have the power to choose how we respond to it, right? That's powerful. We can be passive and let life happen to us, choose to be proactive and shape destinies by becoming harder targets. So it's pretty cool. That's pretty cool. So thanks for letting me share that with you guys about mental grit. I found there's just so much, you know what I mean, when it comes down to grit. And so I wanted to kind of talk about it in mental grit when it comes down to how you could be gritty during the holidays. Okay, so let's get into it. So 5 ways to build mental grit during the holidays. That was TEDx. Whoop, whoop. All right, so this is a grit framework for you guys. So the holiday season is often painted as joyful and light-filled. Yet, for many people, it quietly brings increased stress, emotional strain, financial pressure, and exhaustion. Leaders carry the weight of responsibility. Teachers push through end of semester demands, and students juggle expectations and transitions. And families try to hold everything together while honoring traditions, relationships, and rest. Mental grit during the holidays is not about forcing positive or powering through all at all costs. It's about enduring wisely. Okay, so using the grit framework, growth mindset, resilience, self-efficacy, and time management, we can approach the holidays with strength that sustains rather than drains. Below are 5 practical ways to build mental grit during the holiday season, supported by research and applicable across leadership, education, and family life. So 1, reframe season with a growth mindset. A growth mindset reminds us that we are not required to get everything right, but to be successful. During the holidays, pressure often comes with perfectionism, perfect gatherings, perfect grades, perfect memories, perfect outcomes. Research on growth mindset, most notably by Dr. Carol Dweck, shows that individuals who view challenges as opportunities for learning are more resilient, persistent, and adaptive when plans or changes or obstacles arise. Instead of asking, did I do this perfectly? Ask, what am I learning about myself in this season? For leaders, this may mean learning how to delegate more effectively. For teachers, it may mean learning how to simplify instruction and expectations. For students, it may mean learning how to manage stress and uncertainty. For families, it may mean learning how to choose connection over comparison. Growth mindset always allows grace to coexist with effort. Next, step 2, strength, resilience through healthy boundaries. So again, resilience is not endless endurance. It's the ability to recover and return to balance. Psychological research on stress and coping highlights that stress is not shaped only by external demands, but how individuals appraise those demands and coping tools they believe they have available. Healthy boundaries sound like, I can attend, but I will leave early. I won't engage in conversations that compromise my peace, or I will protect one evening for a rest week. One evening a week for rest. Okay, that's pretty good. So leaders and teachers in particular experience an emotional labor during holidays as a support while navigating their own responsibilities. Resilience grows while recovery is intentional through rest, reflection, prayer, movement, or moments of quiet. Next, tip 3, building self-efficacy through those small, meaningful wins. So psychologist Albert Bandura recognizes or refers to a person's belief in their ability to be successful that executes tasks and handles challenges. Research consistently shows that self-efficacy predicts persistence, motivation, and emotional regulation. Okay, examples include the student completing one focused study session, a teacher grading one assignment set instead of everything, a leader completing one strategic priority, a family organizing one space and planning one meal. Okay, and then the next, using time management as a mental health tool. Time management is discussed as a productive skill, but research increasingly shows its relationship to reduce stress and improve well-being. While time feels chaotic, the mind feels unsafe. So structure creates calm. So must do, top 3 priorities that truly matter. Nice to do, optional activities that bring joy. So this is like a great priority plan for you guys, or not doing tasks or expectations that you are intentionally releasing. Okay. So leaders, teachers, students, and families benefit when the calendars include a buffer time. Okay. Rest time and a transition time. Managing your time is managing energy. Okay. All right. Next, practicing recovery with self-compassion. Okay. Grit without compassion leads to burnout. Again, grit without compassion leads to burnout. So research on self-compassion and mindfulness consistency shows reductions in stress, anxiety, and emotional exhaustion when individuals treat themselves with kindness rather than criticism. Mental grit does not mean ignoring emotions. It means acknowledging them without being controlled by them. So it's simply daily reset. Inhale slowly 4 counts. Exhale for 6 counts. Relax the shoulders. Repeat a compassionate phrase. I'm going to do the best with what I have. Okay? And so final word for you guys. True grit is not loud. It's steady. It's choosing progress over perfection. It's believing that you are capable even when you're tired. It's managing life so that life doesn't manage you. It's resting without shame. And so remember, in this season, you don't have to carry everything to be strong. You don't have to have everything where you're worthy. You could be gritty and gentle at the same time, because it's mental grit, and that lasts way beyond the holidays. Okay. So with that said, I hope that you guys enjoyed this. I hope that you're going to be able to find ways to be gritty, so that you can just trace, how you're making progress. I also say, as we're wrapping up this phenomenal year, 2025, going into 2026, that you just remain realistic and surround yourself by people that, want you to win, and be willing to keep others that were not able to be at a place to best serve you and your vision. Leave them in 2025. There's no need to drag anybody into 2026 that did not do right by you. This is really a season to just reclaim your power, take your power back, and to not allow yourself to be manipulated and stomped on all over again in 2026. So with that said, guys, thanks so much for joining me again on the Grit and Equity Talks podcast with Dr. India White. Thrilled to be your guest. And again, if you want to be featured on this, just send me an email, india.white.123@gmail.com. You can visit my website, www.india-white.com, for, a booking, or if you want to book me for anything, or if you're wanting to check out the blogs, like the blog that I just wrote, or if you're having a speaking event, or you're wanting some coaching advice. Social media, you can follow me, Miss India White. LinkedIn is The India White. Twitter is Indie Speak and Teach. Instagram is Indie238. YouTube is India White 123. And TikTok is Dr. India White. Please check out our upcoming conference that we have, Getting Gritty for the New Year. That will be this week on Friday at 2 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. We have a host of speakers. And so we'll be live for several hours from 2 p.m. to, I think, like 8 or 8:30, possibly 9 o'clock Eastern Standard Time. It's going to be a great time. So please go there to hear and to connect with other phenomenal leaders like yourself. And with that said, stay safe in these holiday season. Stay safe and know that you're loved, you're amazing, and that you do have what it takes to be gritty and thrive in 2026. So thanks so much for letting me share. Stay gritty. See ya.